Hey there, Jazzers. This feels like heaven. It's time for your last assignment, so that means it's week 7. Yeah, all right. And away we go.
Jazz music is a music born out of struggle and innovation, and specifically out of innovation found in the midst of struggle.
If you go back about 80 years ago, when America was a highly segregated society, jazz was one of the first meeting places for the races. Tens of millions of Americans may have had their first really deep encounter with African-American culture and African-American society by listening to jazz records, by hearing jazz musicians perform.
The kinds of things that they had to endure during slavery and all of the things that they suffered in their early years here sort of fueled the kinds of spirit that is inherent in the music itself.
When I would get to the nation's capital, you did? They would make me get out of the coach with everybody else and get in the colored coach. And I always wondered why colored and water, colored water. I said, the water's the same color as they're drinking.
And so jazz is a very lively music, and it's a very, it's music which comes alive in a very special way.
Jazz was the moment in cultural history where improvisation reached a kind of genius that was equal to Mozart.
You know, the spirit of jazz is improvisation, creativity.
It focuses on the democratic principle of all people being created equal. We don't have conductors. The score is not sacred in jazz. We solo, we improvise and make up our parts. And we're given accolades and credit based on the individuality of our playing.
What blew me away about Ella Fitzgerald when I realized she was taking these solos and they were different every time. And I'm thinking, well, where is she getting the notes from? And so the very idea that she was just creating them on the spot was completely mind-blowing and fascinating to me.
Creativity is at the heart of composition in classical music. It's at the heart of great classical performance. But ultimately, those forms of music do not emphasize the moment the way that jazz does. Jazz is all about the moment.
Like Bach could sit down to a harpsichord and play unbelievable things on organ, something that will never be heard again, unbelievable. But he couldn't sit down and do that with 4 other people who would also be great.
There's no other art form in the world where you're really creating spontaneously right there in that moment. And the creation is sincerely a collaborative creation.
Like, there's no precedent in the arts for the John Coltrane Quartet. We have a great saxophone player, a great drummer, a great bass player, a great piano player, and they're all making up their part. You won't find that in anything. Jazz became a way to codify the American experience. So there are things in jazz that relate directly to America.
I think jazz is the most perfect explanation of the perfect democracy.
It's freedom. Jazz is freedom to me.
But we also have checks and balances like we have in our democratic system.
There are rules. There are the chord changes, and you have to actually know where they are. It's kind of like you've been given a white sheet of paper, you have a palette, and you have several colors here. Now, what are you going to do with them?
When you're soloing, the soloist takes precedent over the decisions that the rhythm section makes. But when you're a soloist, you know, the rhythm section will play some things that don't necessarily go with what you're playing. You have to give them a little something too. So in that way, we're always balancing with each other. We have our individual rights, but we also have a greater responsibility to the group. And we're expected to use our rights to celebrate the group expression.
Once you understand the language and you understand that jazz music is not going to judge you, it just wants, it just wants to sound good.
Jazz is really at the center of the American musical imagination.
It's music of connection, music of expression, music of joy.
It's something that comes from my life that I give out to the world.
It's a language to keep people in peace and playing together. It's a wonderful language.
With jazz, as with any other art form, it's a gift to a culture. And what makes it such a wonderful gift is that it enables you to focus your vision on objective things about who you are.
So as far as the history and the significance of jazz, it's really an expression. It's a sonic photograph of America.
Jazz was the art form which allowed the races in America to come together in a way that was peaceful, that was productive. And I think it laid a lot of the groundwork for the whole subsequent civil rights movement and the kind of culture that we now enjoy today.
And that's why when civilizations fade, their arts remain as a testament to what the people were about. And in that way, jazz will stand as a testament to what America was about.
All right, so jazz and the spirit of improvisation. So for this week, your assignment, seniors, you are excused from this assignment since your assignments were done last week. But this week, for those of you doing the assignment, you are going to find a video of a jazz combo. And what I want you to do is to talk about the improvisation, the creativity, everything that was talked about in this video. I want you to then apply to the video that you have chosen to watch. So we're going to talk mainly about the improvisation, or how the 4 or 5 people working together do that. What do they each bring to the performance? So you're not going to have, I'm not going to send out the normal music analysis. You're going to kind of do this kind of a free-form analysis, which is going, in the spirit of the assignment, let you be creative about that as well. Just a reminder, seniors, I need everything by May 20th at 9 a.m. And then if you're not at 70% in my class, then you will be receiving an incomplete on your report card. Underclassmen, I need everything by midnight, May 22nd. And once again, if you're not at 70%, then you'll be getting an incomplete on your report card as well. So I hope you guys have a great summer, and I hope to be making music together in the fall once again. So have a great summer, and thanks for all you've done so far on these assignments. And I look forward to reading your latest essay. So have a great one. Have a good summer. Bye.